A quick summary of The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare. In this video, we are focusing on Act 1, Scene 1. So I suppose the first question is, what is a merchant? Well, a merchant is a businessman. And in Shakespeare's time, they were basically the hustlers. They would buy goods and sell them. They'd buy things like spices and fabrics. They'd get them on their ships and sell them to other people. Now, they were known as really good negotiators, or what we might call today hustlers of that time. So, Venice is a town in Italy. It's almost like a fairy tale city. It's built completely on water in northern Italy. It has lots of rivers and lakes. So most towns have streets outside. In Venice, they have rivers and little streams, and they have boats called gondolas. The most famous part of Venice is the Rialto. So in The Merchant of Venice, the merchant could refer to either Antonio, shown on the left, or it could refer to Shylock on the right, although most people seem to believe it refers to Shylock. Shakespeare wasn't actually clear about this. Both of them were merchants, and they both lived in Venice. So the play opens with a line from one of our main characters, Antonio, who says, "In sooth, I know not why I am so sad." In other words, he's saying, truly, guys, I really don't know why I'm feeling so down. He says, it wearies me, you say it wearies you. So from this we can see that he's been feeling really down. He has no idea why he feels this way, and he's actually bringing his friends down with his mood. Now, Antonio is accompanied by two supporting characters, Salarino and Solanio, or you can call him Solanio, it really doesn't matter. But they try and help him figure out why he's so sad. And from this we learn that he's actually rich. Very rich. I mean, very, very rich. And they say that if they were in his position, they would be thinking about all their ships across the ocean. Now, let us know in the comments if you are actually cramming before an exam. Because if you are, then that probably means that you've missed out on some of the beautiful descriptions that they use to express how they would worry if they were in his position. And they paint really beautiful pictures. Basically, they suggest that he must be worrying about what's happening to all his merchandise on these ships and how his money might be lost. But he lets them know that, no, I'm not worried about my money. Look, I've got so many ships going to so many ports that it really doesn't worry me. He's got ships in South America even. He's got ships in India, all over the place. And they even describe his ships as coming on the Rialto. They describe them as being like rich burghers and seigneurs. In other words, being like finely clothed people. And they describe the people packing stuff onto the ships as common people who bow to richer people. So if you don't get what I'm saying, I'm basically saying Antonio is bawling. He's got change coming out of his ears. Well, since they can't figure out why he is so sad, they suggest that maybe he's in love. And the only thing Antonio says is, fine. Now, this is not an official explanation, but my interpretation of this, again, this is only my interpretation, is that what if Antonio is actually in love with his kinsman Bassanio? Okay, I really want you to have that in the back of your mind, just as an alternative. Remember, with Shakespeare, you can always make your own interpretations. So the more I read this scene, the more I think that is sort of a secret thing that is put into the play. What we do know is that Antonio never explains that he's in love. You see, fi is a lot like the South African word cease. It's an expression of disgust, saying, so at this moment, three other characters show up. So we've got the main character, Bassanio, who's referred to as Antonio's noble kinsman. Noble kinsman, so noble meaning that he has higher status, and kinsman meaning that he is a relative of Antonio's. He shows up with Lorenzo and Grittanio, supporting characters that we'll learn about later. So they are a bit important later, but for now, they're just very fun characters. They say, "When shall we laugh?" And so with that, Solanio and Salarino up and leave, and we'll hear from them later, but they're not main characters who drive the story forward. They operate almost as narrators and commentators on the rest of the play. So we'll see you later, guys. Ciao for now. Now, another person that accompanies Lorenzo and Bassanio is Gratiano, sorry. He scolds Antonio. He notices that Antonio is upset and so chides him and scolds him for looking upset, and he gives a long speech about why Antonio shouldn't feel this way, about the kinds of people who always look a little bit too serious. Now, he is a supporting character, but an important thing to note about him is that he tends to say a lot without saying anything. He's very wordy, but he doesn't seem to get to the point. And he speaks about dumb wise men who don't speak. And so very soon, Bassanio will say, "I must be one of these same dumb wise men, for Grittanio never allows me to speak." See, Grittanio is the kind of person that tends to just speak over everyone, but doesn't have much substance to what he says. So he's a bit of comic relief. So, Bassanio starts telling Antonio what he needs. Bassanio is here to borrow money from Antonio. He does hesitate a bit, and he does waste a little bit of time. Antonio lovingly tells him, "Listen, just get to the point. We're friends. You shouldn't have to faff and fluff." We find out that Bassanio has actually been quite irresponsible with his money. Even though he is of noble birth, he's wasted a lot of his money, but he has what he considers a foolproof plan to get some money and to pay Antonio back. So let's find out what that is. You see, Bassanio is in love with a beautiful lady from Belmont. But the thing is, this lady has many suitors. She has many men coming after her, dukes and princes and kings and such. And he really needs help wooing her. That's why he's asking for money, not just to travel, but also to impress her, because she has such noble suitors. But why is this? You see, this lady by the name of Portia is rich. This lady Portia is filthy, stinking rich. Her father happens to have left her an enormous amount of money, and whoever marries her will also inherit all of this money. She lives in a place called Belmont, which is basically an island on which she lives alone with her servants. And if Bassanio can marry her, not only will he have a beautiful woman, he'll have plenty of money to pay Antonio back. So it seems like a win-win for everyone. Antonio dearly loves Bassanio, and he says, "Of course, I'll lend you any money you want." But the thing is, Antonio doesn't have ready money. All of his money is invested in the ships, which we mentioned before, all of his merchant ships. But because he's trusted in Venice, he says, "Go forth and try what my creditors in Venice can do." In other words, just go and ask all of the money lenders, and let's see who's willing to lend us the money. Let's go borrow it, and I will be the one who pays it back to them. I'll give you surety. Okay, and with that, we've met two of our main characters, two of our protagonists. We've got Antonio, the wealthy merchant of Venice, the first one that we meet, and we've also got Bassanio, our lover boy, our first romantic interest. I should mention here that the Merchant of Venice has no perfect characters. We're going to see flaws in Antonio later, but for now we can already begin to see the flaws of Bassanio. We can see that he's been irresponsible with money. We can see that even though he happens to be in love with the woman. He's also marrying her for financial gain. So his motives aren't pure. We'll notice that about more characters later on. He is borrowing 3,000 ducats for 3 months. The number 3 keeps coming up. So as you see more videos from me, I really want you to think about what 3 means in this play and try to come up with your own ideas. So let me know in the comments, how do you think this is going to go? Is any of this a good idea? Is it a good idea to lend a friend money who's been irresponsible with money? Do you think this is going to work out? What do you think is going to happen? Let me know in the comments, and also please like and subscribe so that you can be notified when there are new videos. Hit that notification bell. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.
Hey guys, guess what? Did you know that I have turned this video into a downloadable comic book PDF, which you can get for free right now if you just click the link in the description. Now, I'd really appreciate it if you supported me on Patreon or on PayPal, but if you can't, that's okay. Just download it right now while it's still free. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. See you guys soon. Bye.